Hey guys, welcome, or should I say, welcome back to the very first Raisa Reads video of 2026. And before I do move forward, I must say happy 2026, and I am excited to share everything book with y'all. And of course, before I do that, I must share the books that I read in 2025. So back in 2025, I set the goal to read one book a month, which would have meant that I had to read 12 books for the year. And of course, I did not meet that goal. I read only 9 books for the year, fully. And I'm here to share the 9 books that I would have read with y'all. So these are the 9 books that I would have read for 2025, and let me share them with you quickly. So of course, the very first book that I would have read would have been The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. This is one of the things I like to do, is to start the year off with a self-help book. So that is what I would have done, and I read this one. This just talks about anything you do, good or bad, the effects will be compounded. So for example, if you eat badly, you don't exercise, you would obviously that would compound and you will gain weight. Whereas, if you do exercise and you take care of yourself and you watch what you eat, obviously you'd lose weight and maintain your body and be healthy. So, and it basically compounds. And that talks about everything in your life. So not just exercising and stuff, anything in your life, the effects are compounded. So the compound effect. One of my favorite books is that I finished the trilogy of Kennedy Ryan's book, and Can't Get Enough, which is a romance book. I love me a good romance book. And so I finished this trilogy, and I love to read trilogies and book series and stuff like that. So I finished it with the very last book, Can't Get Enough. Another self-help book that I absolutely love is 25 Ways to Win with People from John C. Maxwell and Les Perrott. One of my all-time goals always, as someone who always tried to work on herself, is to learn how to communicate with people good. How I can win with people. And so I got this book as a gift, and as I got it, I had to read it. And it's a very small book, so I had to read it right away. And of course, I did practice a lot of the principles that are in this book. This book, I would reread it again because I love to read books that I am able to learn from and can compound on them and practice what I would have learned. So definitely one of my favorites books that I would have read. In Every Mirror She's Back by Lola Ackenstrom. It was like a 2.5, a 3 out of 5 for me. Only because in the beginning was kind of dead, but coming up to the ending was good. So I did enjoy to the end, but overall, yeah. The Secret Lives of Church Ladies by Disha Filia. This is a collection of short stories talking about the secret lives of church ladies. And when I'm reading this book, I'm I can picture church ladies who live this kind of secret lives. There were women who grew up in the church and were secretly lesbians. There were ladies sleeping with the pastor. The Secret Lives of Church Ladies. I like this book. And it's a very short book. The House of Eve by Shakita Johnson. This was one of my favorite books. I like how, the story intertwined 2 different ladies and how their lives were intertwined together. And so that is why I really enjoyed The House of Eve. A 4 out of 5 for me. The second romance book that I read, I love romance, but I don't read a lot of romance. So of course, the second romance book that I would have read is Only for the Week by Natasha Bishop. I really enjoyed this book. It sort of ended my year for me. I think this was the last book that I read for the year, and I normally end the year with a romance book. So I like in December reading a romance. It's a nice romantic season. You get cozy, it's kind of chilly, read up a romance. Yeah. My summer pick, because I love a good book in the summertime. Like summertime reading, all time reading is good, but like summertime reading is another good time for me. And I love an extra good book. And I had chose Sweetness in the Skin by Aishi Robinson, which is a coming of age book about a young lady who, she lived with her grandmother, her mother, and her aunt, and her mother couldn't stand her. And so it talks about, the trials that she would have went through as a teenage coming of age young lady, living with, her aunt loved her deeply and her own mother did not like her. So I really enjoyed this book, 5 out of 5. I read it very quickly. And the last book out of the 9 books that I would have read would have been Mommy by Jessica George. This is also a coming of age book that I would have read, and I literally enjoyed it. I did give it, of course, a 3.5 out of 5. There were some certain dead areas, but I really did enjoy this book. I would highly recommend it. So, of course, guys, these were the 9 books that I would have read for 2025. I have 2 honorable mentions. So, I started reading And So I Roar by Abby Deer. I didn't finish it. And this was my December book that I started to read, but December was so hectic, and so I didn't finish it. But of course, these were the books that I would have read for 2025. Look out for all the books that I'm reading in 2026. And of course, it is always peace and love, and see y'all in the next video.